our cabin is really well equipped, and there is no problem with storing luggage under the bed. And my other half laughed at me when I said to him I had picked up the tip off the internet that we should have magnetic hooks for the cabin, but look how useful they have become. And they pop along anywhere, and we've used them for sticking up the crew itinerary and as hat stands, and there's some in the heads in the shower room as well that we can use, as well as the inbuilt washing line. Another gadget that we got was a 7-port USB charger, because one of the things we read was there was insufficient plugs on the cabin wall. Well, there's 4, 2 with a European two-hole system and 2 with the local 3-pin system. But by bringing our 7-port extension, we have sufficient power to recharge batteries, microphones, cameras, telephones, computers, everything all at once. Another gadget that we got as a result of watching what other people were doing on the internet was to get these hanging units, which we've put inside the wardrobe to help carve up things like the underwear and socks. So it just makes life a lot more easy, although I have to say there is bags of storage room in this cabin for 2 people, with 23 kilo suitcases each, and for a 25-day or whatever it is cruise, and we're not going to be short of storage space. There's also an onboard laundry that you can use yourself. It's $40 a load if they do it for you, and it's always busy, but we in fact have been able to use it by getting up early in the morning, and you can just do it yourself, and they provide all the soap and all that kind of thing. So today we went to see the Japanese garden in the city, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's about $12 to go in. That's US dollars or pounds. It's all much the same at the moment. And we had a very nice time in the Japanese garden. But tonight at 8 o'clock, after our dinner on the pool deck with the barbecue, we will be sailing off to Montevideo across the River Plate. Now, the Rio de Plata, as it's known locally, plata in Spanish is silver, so they really we should be calling it the Silver River, but we don't. We call it the River Plate, which I suppose should be some comfort to the Mexicans, now that Donald Trump has decided unilaterally, in a pathetic bit of performative politics, to rename the 500-year-old Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. Well, he can call it what he likes. I know it is the Gulf of Mexico and shall continue to do so. And so we will be sailing across the River Plate, which is actually the River Silver, if we had done the translation correctly. It holds a particular interest for me because during World War II, the German pocket battle cruiser, the Graf Spee, came in here chased by the English and docked in Uruguay, where if it did not sail out within about 72 hours, it would be interned for the rest of the war. And Uruguay, although neutral, was actually allied with Britain. And Longersdorf, the captain of the German cruiser, contacted Berlin and said, "What shall I do?" Because his galley and also his oil purifier to run the engines had been damaged by British battleship gunfire. He decided at the end of the day that the best thing to do was to evacuate the crew, and then they scuttled the ship, the Graf Spee, in Montevideo, or just off the Montevideo harbour, and for many years it has been visible poking above the water, and I'll be very interested tonight to see whether or not we manage to get a little view of that as we go by. My uncle, my beloved uncle, who sadly died last year at 102 years old, he was a gunnery officer in the Royal Navy, and the HMS Ajax took 2 direct hits on their aft gun emplacements, where my uncle was actually stationed, and everybody in his gun crew was killed apart from him. So this is a very sentimental trip across the River Plate for us as passengers on this trip. And we've had a very interesting talk this evening on Montevideo, which arms us up with a few things to go and see tomorrow. Now, you're missing me on film, no doubt, watching this, but we're having great difficulty transmitting from the ship, and so we're going to see if just audio and stills manages to transmit more easily, because it has taken 12 hours to load yesterday's film, which is why it's late landing in your inbox. Anyway, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will endeavour to bring you a daily update, although it may be a little bit of a time lag between the events and the broadcast. Cheerio for now. The bar's open. Oh, by the way, the bar's always open. No wonder they have an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting on this ship. I should think the numbers will have trebled by the time we get to the end of the month.